Hi, I'm Harry.
And I'm Mary. Welcome to EDU 200. Today our topic is tenure. It's important we talk about this because a lot of students go into the workforce not prepared with a balanced look at this. So, what do you think, Harry?
Well, when we went on YouTube to look for videos for this, we saw a lot of unbalanced looks at the idea of tenure. We wanted to try to give the students a balanced look at tenure, what's good about it, what's not, what's fair, what's unfair, and perhaps go from there.
Harry and I come from two different perspectives in the education world. Myself as just a teacher, and Harry has a lot of experience as a union member, as a school board member, and an administrator. So we're going to kind of look at all of those angles and look closer to see what tenure is so that you're prepared. So Harry, I understand your background as an active participant in a teachers union and even participated in strikes that closed the schools. Tell us about it.
Oh, yeah. Philadelphia had several teacher strikes over the years, not for several years now, and I actually participated in every single one of those. Every year, every day that the schools were closed, I was on strike and I was on a picket line many, many days. I was very active in the teachers union. I believed in the teachers union. I think what they did for the teachers was great. In fact, in a statewide election, I was on the ballot as one of the representatives for the state. We lost, but I did run for statewide election. So I'm certainly a very pro-teachers union person.
And how does that affect tenure?
Well,
Were any of the strikes in regard to tenure?
no, actually, all the strikes were basically over money, if you come down to it,
Well, that makes sense.
and other issues, but really not so much. Tenure was never brought up back then.
Okay.
It's a much bigger issue today, much bigger.
But while we're on the topic, should our students join the unions, the teachers unions?
Well, if they get into public schools, they are going to have that option. If they get into other schools like charters and so forth, then maybe they won't have the option.
Okay.
My own particular feeling is if you're in a school and all the teachers are a member of the union, it benefits you for many different reasons to be part of that union. And unions can have a very, very positive effect with their members.
I agree. I also understand you have a background as a school board member and a school administrator.
Yeah, I've been on both sides. I was an elected school board member of the town where I live for 10 years. I actually used to be the negotiator for union contracts with the teachers. In fact, one night I was actually the person that went on KYW at 6 o'clock in the morning and announced we'd have a settlement with the teachers. Don't go on strike, go back to work.
Great.
So I did that as a board member. I also, in Philadelphia, where I was a teacher, I later became an administrator, 4 years as a vice principal, 12 years as principal of the largest city in Philadelphia, school in the city of Philadelphia, and worked with the union, from the other side, if you will, for a long time.
Harry, did you ever have tenure?
Oh, yes. I had tenure as a teacher and as an administrator both.
And what is the definition of tenure?
Tenure is really where a teacher, we'll stick with teachers now, get in Pennsylvania after 3 years, it gets the right not to be terminated without just cause, without process and procedure. Now, this can be eliminated if it's what we call riffing, reduction in force, if there simply is no more need for the teacher, but that would be a reason. But you just simply can't release a teacher. There's got to be process and procedure, there's got to be a reason and just cause.
And do you automatically get tenure?
No, you don't automatically get tenure. In Pennsylvania, again, you'll become a teacher for a year, you'll be evaluated several times throughout the year. The same thing happens the next year, the same thing happens the next year, and then after 3 years of hopefully intense scrutiny by the administration, at that point in time they can say that we are recommending this teacher for tenure in the state of Pennsylvania.
And so every state is different.
Yes.
I know my daughter, who's an Eastern alum, is a first grade teacher in South Jersey, and she taught one full year, and then she has to apply to get a mentorship and for 3 years be mentored by another teacher, which she pays for. The mentor receives money, and after 3 years she can be recommended for tenure. So it's different from state to state.
You
So
went. You were used to be in Texas. What happened there?
well, originally I was in South Jersey in a private school, and I will say tenure was not available in private schools in South Jersey. And then I taught in Texas. Tenure was non-existent there. But every year we would be evaluated by the principal, and our contract was up for renewal according to that evaluation, which was very stressful. But that's the way it happened. So yes, tenure is state to state. It's very controversial. We definitely can see positives to it. California just canceled it.
Yeah.
They had it and then took it away.
Yeah.
And that's pretty recent.
Yeah, they had a very strange tenure law where you got tenure after just a few months, which is really pretty absurd. And of course, what happens is that today, this whole idea of tenure has become a big political football, Mary. Politicians on both parties are talking about, oh, the teachers are ruining our kids. Oh, we got all these bums that have tenure. We can't get rid of them because they got tenure. So we got to get rid of all these bums. Greatly exaggerated. I know California had a figure about how very few teachers who with tenure got fired. When I was a principal, I only had a couple of teachers who I ever got rid of through the tenure process. But what happens is that you begin to evaluate a teacher as unsatisfactory who has tenure, and he or she doesn't want to go through it. So they quit. They leave. Now, they really have been eliminated. They really have been fired in a sense because they left. But according to the statistics, they were never removed. They voluntarily left. So it's a little bit misleading in that regard. Sometimes you have teachers who really, truly have been fired, if you will, but the statistics don't show it.
Interesting. So it's a hot topic. And if you have further questions about it, please bring them to class and we'll talk about it there.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Harry.
Bye-bye.
Bye.